based on what you just shared, I want to do a mini life course right now.
Sure.
You said you started out blue collar. So I want to do a mini life course on 3 things to be thinking about for moving from a blue collar to a white collar world.
Yep. Okay.
Right. Because I think a lot of times that story sings true to many, many people, right? You shared your story starting sweeping the floors, and now you're a fractional CFO. And there is that shift from, and there's nothing wrong with blue collar. I'm not suggesting
of course not.
there is. But what your story that you just shared is how you moved from blue collar to white collar.
Yeah.
And so I think there's a lot there for people to help them get unstuck.
Sure.
And so if you had to kind of drill it down to 3 things for people to think about, whether it's their mindset or do or execute, what would those be? Number 1.
Yeah. I would say it doesn't have to be school, but it has to be learning. So YouTube, even Reddit, Twitter, if you have an interest, and follow your interests. I think maybe that's the first one, is follow your interests. I loved numbers and I loved math. And I followed my interests, and I looked at YouTube, and I looked at all these things, these tools where I could learn how to build Excel models online. And I started just doing them in my day-to-day blue collar work first. So when I had an issue with production, I would map it into Excel, and I would go to YouTube and I'd figure out, well, how do I really build this thing in Excel? And then I'd show up a week later to the plant and say, look, I figured something out. Let's use it. Right. So that was probably the first step. And I wasn't asked to do it. But I knew that I wanted to do something with my mind in that way. The next one is, definitely you have to take some risks, because I had to take a pay cut to get into the white collar world, because I didn't find an opportunity at the time where someone would trust a very blue collar worker to move into a white collar role in a horizontal or even vertical move. No, I had to go downwards first. So I took a 10-15 grand pay cut for my first white collar job to work in an office. So taking risks is a big piece. And the third one I would say is the mentorship piece. Find people you can work for. Ideally, if you can work for someone that will mentor you as well, that'd be great. But if not, find someone who will mentor you, who will make introductions. There's a guy I know named Antonio. Way back in the day, I was blue collar, and I told him, look, I really want to make a move into this new world. And he made intros, he made connections, he, sent me job listings. So I would say those connections and those mentors are, really one of the biggest reasons that I'm here today.
I appreciate that mini master's class or that life course, because I think there's so much content in there that will help so many people, no matter where they are in their lives. But going above and beyond, like you talked about, right? And when you want to grow and you want to prove yourself, and taking risks, which I think is so important. Sometimes you got to go 2 steps backwards to go 10 steps forward. And the power of mentorship. I'm a business coach, and I work with solopreneurs to Fortune companies and everything in between. But I just launched another business called Launch 3, launch-3.com. And it's a coaching platform for 18 to 26-year-olds. And it's filled with mentorship and knowledge. We have speakers every Wednesday. I'd love for you to speak to
that'd be great.
the group and sign up to be part of our mentor hub. But it's all about giving the tools of mentorship to encourage people to take risks, and fueling them with knowledge of speakers and curated quick content. And so I appreciate it. I think that was a great mini life course.
I love that you're doing that for the 18 to 26-year-olds. Man, I would have killed for that at that
Killed.
age. 100%.
For it. Yeah. Killed for it. Yeah. I love it.